والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My dear brothers and sisters, it is indeed a pleasure that every time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us such an opportunity, we know that even though there are empty spaces, but we are not alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down angels to witness this beautiful gathering, the proceedings taking place, because this is a reward from Him. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to maintain such a blessing on us, and as the Shaykh said, to open our hearts. Because as Muslims, whenever we attend such a gathering, our purpose should be that we should improve our inner self to the extent that when we leave, we should feel better than when we started. So let us start all by focusing our niyyah. Why are we here? Let us take a few moments. Niyyah, as Sufyan al-Thawri said, was the hardest thing for him to deal with. He was asked, what was the hardest thing that you had to deal with? He said, my niyyah, because it keeps on switching back and forth on me. That's Sufyan al-Thawri. Therefore, we need always, whenever we do anything, to refocus our niyyah, inshallah. On the last major sermon that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, there was a statement that he made that should concern all of us. Imagine Rasulullah ﷺ given that feeling that his time on earth is almost over, and that he wanted to summarize his risala, his message, in few words, things that will be kept with us to help guide us. So each and every one of us should examine his last sermon that is referred to as Khutbatul Wada'. In that sermon, he said, Taraktu fikum. Let's be very careful when we try to look at the words. Taraktu fikum. ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا. Allahu Akbar. This is a promise from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it says, you will never go astray after me if you will hold fast to the two things I left with you. Ya Rasulullah, please tell us. We don't want to go astray after you. He said, Kitabullah wa sunnati. The book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and my tradition, my sunnah. Hold fast to it. So when we look around us today and we find that this ummah is anything but guided. You know, it is rare that I visit a community without a discussion taking place between me and the imam or the leaders of the community. And you know, Sheikh Khalid is a witness that this afternoon the discussion was, what shall we do? You know, we can mention the problems. What shall we do? We know that we are in such a disarray that even in this country where we're supposed to be united, we are anything but united. I gave a humble suggestion that perhaps the way to do it is to scan our community for 12 dedicated, relatively learned young Muslims who are capable of leadership, entrust them with leading our affairs, and let the elders who have been doing it for ages retreat to the position of trustees and Majlis al-Shura to give consultation, because we, whether we like it or not, carry with us from our background, from wherever we come, something inside us that does not help us to unite. We're just like that. But our children, whether from a Lebanese or Palestinian or Egyptian or Pakistani or Bangladeshi or Indian or Turkish background, they're Canadian. And they know the landscape. They know how to deal with issues much more than we do. And I believe, even if it may take some time, let us find those young people. Let us inject knowledge into them, entrust them, show that we have our full trust in them, but they have to be capable. They have to be learned. And then let us see to it that we don't always, as Muslims, jump up only whenever there is a problem overseas. Let us become part and parcel of developing this country, Canada. Let us show that Canada can be a prototype for a new Medina. The entire world, and I hope the young people will listen carefully, the entire world today is a Mecca. Canada has the potential to be a Medina. Right now, it is a Yathrib. And we are taking our time in transforming Yathrib into the Medina that is waiting for us. And those who are going to do it are the young people. And I was speaking with Rashad. I don't know where Rashad is, the one who kidnapped me from the hotel. Oh, here he is. Is it Rashad? Rifat. I told Rifat that what we need to do is to bring towards us the people of authority in this country, the people who are decision makers, and try to give them the message of Islam in the way they understand it. Try to speak their language and give it to them in a concise yet consistent way. What do I mean by concise yet consistent? What should happen, and we have no choice, is that once we entrust those 12 with the leadership of the community, there has to be an agreement, even if we have to tell them, exercise whatever is necessary to make sure that this will happen, that there will be one voice only through which our community will be heard outside. And this voice can be taught, can be trained by the religious authority that will know how to translate the past, the history, into the future. They are the elements of the future,